Good afternoon. Hi, Sheldon. We are here with Deputy Warden Enslow for our final presser this week. We will be back next week. Still planning for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but we will see as the event folds out. So quickly, I am Nadine McCormick, Communications and Public Information for Annapolis Remo. We have with us Deputy Warden Dustin Enslow, and we will let him start with a quick update, and then we'll open it for questioning. Go ahead, Deputy Warden.
Thank you, Nadine. So just on the wildfire, I'm going to get into it here. The status is still being held, which is very positive news, which means that we're likely not to see growth over the near future unless situation changes. So what we're worried about looking at is any changes in weather. So if we see severe increases in wind, mostly wind and lack of rain, this could potentially change. But having the being held status means that the likelihood is not under the conditions that we currently have. It's still at approximately 85 square kilometers. And right now, the entire outside edge, so the perimeter of the fire zone, is surrounded by a dozer guard or some type of fire break. So that could be the fact of a bulldozer made a road, or it could be a wet guard, which would just mean that they've been soaked in the area to make sure that fire cannot spread. Their crews have been working for the past few days on ensuring the outer edge is staying fire free, and they're starting to advance or continue to advance up to 150 feet inwards to work on the fire. So that is good. It means that they're going from the outside and working their way in, which would mean that they'll continue to surround this fire to help things to move. It's right now they're working on it from the air, which is with helicopters and other support equipment, and on the ground with the actual firefighters from DNR and emergency management. So we're hoping that over the next few days that the weather continues the way that it is, and we have cooler mornings and perhaps rain and fog, which would help slow the fire in the mornings so they could actually continue to make their advances quicker and make more ground throughout the day. But we're still in this for a bit of a long haul because it is, not considered contained at this point. We still have no more properties that have been lost or damaged. Crews continue to work on the hazards that are around or possibly around houses to make sure that there's at least 300-foot radiuses around each property to ensure that if a fire does flare up and it gets towards that property, that there is enough of a green zone within that area. They're also looking for hot spots, ash pits, and trees that have been weakened due to being burned from the inside out, sorry, which are also a possible risk to individuals because they could fall at any given time. Nova Scotia Power has started their inspection and repair on Thorn Road. They've started going in to look at the inspection of what's needed. As you can imagine, there's a lot of power poles that need to be replaced, and it could be some time before that whole area is regenerated. They have guaranteed us that power will not be restored to the actual homes until they're back in their home. So just like the reentry plan that we had earlier this week, they will wait till the members get into their homes before they re-energize the system. That way, if there's any type of possible issues, whether it's a older fuse panel or some type of surge guard, that someone is home to be able to monitor that. We still have the evacuation areas of West Dalhousie Road, as well as from Meadow Road to Sugarburnish. Sorry, I have an issue every time trying to say that. All of Heartland Road and Metacraft Road. Also, all of Thorn Road, except for the two houses or two properties that were part of the reentry plan at 4272 and 4291, are now accessible as of Tuesday. We are still seeing major uses of the navigation program. We are planning and working on an evacuee site visit that hopefully will start in just a few short days, but more to follow because we want to make sure that the evacuees that are aware of the date and the timings before the general population knows. But we have to ensure that we tell people that these could change based on the safety of the area. So if that day that we're doing it, that something happens and it's not safe, then we have to reevaluate the plan. We're also going to be dealing with water testing information to the people that were affected, and we'll be having some information drop-off locations for that. As well, we want to continue to thank the Salvation Army for their continued support and managing the donations. I know there's been a lot, and we've recently heard that because of the reentries that we're seeing a little bit less of people using the Salvation Army, but they want to ensure that stuff is still needed and people are still in need of certain things. So they'll continue to support until it's no longer needed. I also want to encourage people to continue to call the 1-833 806-1515 number if you require any assistance or information about the wildfire situation. And that is manned from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. And if you call outside those hours, you should be able to leave a message and then someone will contact you. Also, I want to say that if you have not received your financial assistance check yet because you're unable to get to the location of the Bridgetown Fire Hall, please call the 1-833 number to make arrangements and we can get this check to you, which we know is extremely important to get the money in your hands. That is all I have, Nadine, and that was a bit of a quick update today.
That was perfect. Thank you so much, Deputy Warden. Sheldon, do you have any questions today?
I'm pretty good. The only question I would have, and I know that there's quite a bit of crown timber, but also privately owned land through the area. In the wildfires in Tantallon, they did go in and harvest some of that standing timber after everything was cleared. I don't know if anyone's had that conversation yet, or are we still too early in to the, well, fire's still being held, yes, but it's not out yet, so.
Yes, there really hasn't been a whole lot of discussion about the forestry after the fact. I do know that as part of the cleanup process to allow people to get back to their homes and even to visit and for the safety of the crews working out there, that they have been doing some logging of damaged material and trucking it out. But as far as the details on where it's going or how, that would be for Department of Natural Resources. It would be managed through them because it's not on Annapolis County property at this point.
And for a follow-up, you said that there's a chance some people may not have picked up their checks. You're keeping track of that. Do you know how many, and is there any other way to reach them other than putting out a public plea?
Yeah, so off the top of my head right now, I don't know. I believe the last I checked, it was something around 20 households, but I'm unsure at this point because I went from one meeting to this one. But we are trying every effort to reach these people, and I know that we've had counselors that have been in contact with some people because each counselor knows their district better than everyone else. So they have different ways to contact them, and they're doing so. Some of it is people might not be within Annapolis County right now. They, as part of their evacuation, may have left or went somewhere with family, or there's a situation that medically they can't get there. So we're making arrangements to get them their check.
I say it's Friday afternoon. You guys should go home early.
Thank you, Sheldon.
I appreciate that, but the problem is it's you always think that sometimes, but 3, 4 o'clock always seems to be one of the busiest times of the day for us, it seems.
I do appreciate your optimism, though.
No other questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheldon. I guess that's it for today. As mentioned, we will be back next week, planning on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll see how it plays out, but let's say Monday at 3:00, we'll be talking again unless otherwise notified.
All right,
Thanks.
perfect.
Have a great weekend, Sheldon.
Thanks.